Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. Again, my name is Jeffrey Davis, and I'm here, as I have been all day, with Peter Myerson from the law firm of Cohn, Rasnick, Myerson, and Plout. Welcome back, Peter.
Great to be here, Jeff.
Thank you.
As always.
We have a peer of yours in the studio. We have another peer, an entrepreneur. We have Mark Bross of Bross Law.
It's great to be here.
Thank you very much, Mark. Why don't you tell us about your practice?
Yeah, no, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I graduated from the University of Pennsylvania Law School about 7 years ago in the top 10% of my class. I practiced at big law firms for the past 7 years, and I just opened up my own practice. My own business. Practice focuses on helping small to medium-sized businesses with a variety of legal issues like intellectual property protection, employee counseling, contracts, business disputes, and privacy compliance.
That's always a challenge.
It really is. It's exciting though, because I get to work day to day with businesses, and there's always a new problem. Businesses have a variety of problems of various days. I'm working with one client who just the other day, his employee had his finger chopped off, and so he has to deal with the ramifications of that. And now OSHA has come calling and trying to figure out what to do and how to handle it. It's very exciting. I'd really like to talk about privacy, in particular privacy for small to medium-sized businesses. They have significant risks, and very few of them are doing anything about it. Most recent, a recent Verizon study showed that 33% of small businesses are targets for attacks, and most of them testified they don't take any of the basic privacy security protections, and it's very expensive for them. I mean, the most recent Ponemon Institute, and the Ponemon Institute is sort of the major organization who studies this, showed that the cost per record, if you have a data breach, is $201 per record. And that is due to loss of reputation, lawsuit, notification charges, government investigation, and all that stuff. And so that's real money. I mean, if you lose 100 record, it's $20,000. You lose 1,000, it's $200,000. You lose 10,000, that's $2 million. And so that can really hurt a small business, and there's things that they can do and they need to do to protect themselves. On my blog, www.businessandconsumerprivacy.com, I sort of outlined 7 steps that every small business should sort of take to protect itself. The first step is you got to identify. That's step number 1. And that means just identify what type of personal information you collect about individuals, your employees, stuff like that. So that's step number 1. You just identify what you have. Second step is locate. You got to locate where it is. Where is it coming in your business? Where does it go when it's in there? And then what do you do with it afterwards?
So we're talking about credit cards?
Could be credit cards. It could be your employee records. It could be your business account records, anything like that. Any kind of personal information is any kind of information about a person, like say first and last name, plus some kind of sensitive number, like an account number, birth date, social security number, any kind of financial account, anything like that is considered personal information, and that's sort of the stuff you need to worry about. The third step was evaluate your risk. The fourth step is to mitigate your risk. So do whatever you need to do to make sure that whatever risks you've identified, you then put appropriate safeguards in place. And safeguards could be either physical safeguards, administrative safeguards, or technological safeguards. All sorts of types of safeguards need to be put in place to mitigate the risk that you've identified. So after you mitigate your risk, the next thing you want to do, so the 5th step on the list is to train your employees. This is a critical and overlooked step. You need to train your employees about all this stuff that you've done in terms of what information you have, the steps you need to protect it, and then you need to regularly train them. So you need to have one training that first introduces them to the idea, but then you need to keep on refreshing it so it's high in their mind. So 6 is destroy. And that means...
Destroy?
That's right, destroy. That means you only want to maintain the information that you have for the length of time that you need to. So
okay.
There are certain records that you have, past employee records. Certain laws that govern how long you're supposed to keep them for. But you want to make sure after you've met that date that you destroy them. The 7th and final one is to monitor and repeat. And so by that I mean you want to make sure and monitor what you've done and the safeguards you put in place to make sure that they are continuing to work for you and that they're solving the problems that you want them to solve. And then the repeat is you got to repeat the process. This is not just a one-time thing and then you're done. It's something you always need to keep on top of because things change. They come up with new malware. There's new things that are always invented about ways to attack you. And you want to make sure that you protect yourself the best way you can. And so you need to keep on top of it, always train your employees, make sure everything is up to date, and do things like that.